Okay, so we're going to be doing... I was going to attempt to pronounce that. Imperatrix Umbrosa Chapter. The Shogun's questline, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even know if I've started it or not, to be honest. I think I may have already started it. The Adventurers Guild in Inazuma seems to have a commission concerning the Sacred Sakura. Well... whatever.
They're attacking the Sacred Sakura! Stop them!
Oh no.
Time for takeoff.
There is no escape!
Let's roll!
It's so annoying that they float. Doesn't matter.
Illusion shattered!
Here we go! Wouldn't gliding be faster? Think you can get away? Go as one! Wind, hear me!
Who wants some of this? Ha! Ha!
Why, there are so many of them! No wonder the Traveler Commission needed help! Come on, Traveler, you can take them!
I sure can.
Torn to oblivion!
Shogun? Wait, no! Could also be A!
Oh, it's you two. It has been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them! That was amazing!
What are you doing here?
I'm making early preparations for what is to come. Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never understood in the past. Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the outside world.
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself. Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the Sacred Sakura by numerous rifthounds. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you.
But the commissions and adventurers can deal with monsters. It doesn't seem like a matter needing the Archon's attention. Yeah.
If the Shogun, rather than I, were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Hmm? Why? Because she's just a puppet?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the Tri-Commission. But rifthounds attacking the Sacred Sakura... It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma.
Hello. It's okay.
Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely escaped being obliterated entirely. The monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil, and the rifthounds were always their advance guard. Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts.
500 years ago. Canria. Canria. If I pronounced that right.
So you've heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together. From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more monsters nearby. All of them must be eliminated.
Let's go. Yeah, this is A's story quest. I had to do it before the thingabob. Or the perilous trial.
Paimon feels so safe when we're in A's company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kind of makes you feel invincible, doesn't it? Oh yeah, after we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about Conria.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I know what you're saying, Paimon.
Similar to the color when the Sacred
I know
Sakura
what you're
takes
saying.
damage. Let's follow it. It should
I know
be
what
this
you're
way.
saying. Okay. Marks left behind. Up. Do I have to do anything? Or is this just... Oh, okay, sure. Weird. Okay, thanks for that, game. I did see that though. What is this weird juice on the floor? Somebody having some oh shit, what's it called? I forgot the drink. It was bad. Ribena. Somebody's been having Ribena. That's it, look. Right? It's probably a bit too blue. Ribena.
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back to health.
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing? Huh? What's this?
How terrible.
Could they be dead people? It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen ghosts on our journey. But why would they appear here?
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
I feel like they're not exactly ghosts.
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
It's more of like a vision of the past or something, right? It's like an apparition or something. I wouldn't exactly say they're ghosts.
What happened here? Could you tell us?
Shit, maybe they are ghosts.
Who are you?
Okay, they are.
What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you there's no escaping them. We will defend Inazuma until our dying breath.
I will say dead ghosts is pretty funny. But a dead ghost seems like some sort of paradox. What monsters?
You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness. Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They are merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path. Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you. They'll devour it all.
But look, none of that seems to be going on around here.
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. Now! There's no time left. The Almighty Shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely on but ourselves. I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing left at all.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's... the Shogun? You're back! Please, we beg you. You have to help us. You have to save Inazuma. Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma will be reduced to a hunting ground for the beasts.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
Over? But what do you mean? Shogun?
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace, as you will no doubt remember. There are no monsters, nor is there anything else here that could threaten your life.
What? But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down. Everything's fine now.
Huh. I think I understand. Almighty Shogun, you saved Inazuma. Yes, we were right to place our trust in the Almighty Shogun. As long as the Shogun is with us, Inazuma will last for an eternity. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
Can I just say that this guy's voice acting is like, is really good. I like it.
What's wrong with him?
Is he disappearing?
He's gone.
At peace, hopefully.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about. But somehow, Paimon feels all sad and hopeless.
If I am
Shut
not
the fuck up,
mistaken,
Daemon.
what we just saw was a samurai's memory that was buried in the land. The Sacred Sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the rifthounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the trunk and formed a physical entity. An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified, it presents in the form of a memory. Purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for too long.
Okay, that is super weird, but sure, I'll go with it. Bunch of filthy bastards. Gotta clean them up. Filthy. The same thing happened to Dusky Ming.
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing at this moment?
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now was precisely the disaster that happened in Inazuma 500 years ago.
What are you saying, Hutu? He mentioned that the Shogun was absent. He mentioned that Shogun was absent.
Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others came from the now fallen kingdom of Khaenri'ah. The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late, otherwise it would spread to all of Teyvat. But my friend, Kitsune Saiku, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting Inazuma and mobilize all forces at her disposal to combat the threat. I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in Khaenri'ah?
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life to protect the people. I never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe that she kept her promise to me until the very last. But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day. both on the land itself and in my heart.
How tragic. Is this the loss that Yaimiko mentioned?
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss. All my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time, powerless to keep the ones I cherished alive.
So sad. So sad.
But after my clash with human ambition, I thought long and hard. Now I realize I cannot fixate on the past forever.
Wow, well done. You finally left your own weird little dimension, came out of your own stupid little head, and looked at the world. Well done. Well done. You're actually thinking about the people that you're supposed to be, you know, in charge of or whatever, or protecting. God.
When I traveled around Inazuma with you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the centuries. A glimpse of human potential. Everything far exceeded my expectations. Moving forward inevitably invites further loss, but also new encounters. Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward.
How is she an Archon? Like, I don't know, this is the sort of dialogue I'd think like Klee would say or something like that. Like, well, I mean, Klee's a bit more upbeat than her, but it's just like, congrats. You've lived a bit of life or whatever, and
all
I'm so
those who
confused.
sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. But perhaps the future they were hoping for is not the eternity that I once strove for.
I want to like the Shogun, but like, I just... What do you mean? That's not what being human is about. God.
As Inazuma's god, it is high time I honored their wishes.
No shit. No shit.
Warriors of the past, who spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in this earth. I will never forget you, and all that you did for Inazuma.
Alright, sure.
He's taking all this pretty hard.
Come on. Let's keep investigating the damage to the Sacred Sakura.
Like, I'm just here to do a commission, lady. You know, I'm just here to kill some rockhounds that were fucking with the tree. I don't want to talk about how, you know, you suddenly realise that what you were striving for however many hundreds of years was completely pointless. I don't want to hear it. God. I mean, she has been in, like, a weird little alternate dimension that she's created for however many hundred years or whatever, like. And she's just been sitting in a weird little alternate dimension, just, like, meditating or something weird shit, like, just sitting around, just drinking some tea or whatever. Yeah, let's go do the commission. Thank you, Shogun. Okay. We got a job to do. Okay.
Unexpected, there are a load of rifthounds here too!
Okay, weird.
Leave them to
Just the
me.
Shogun.
Now you shall perish! escape.
I really not get a healer on it.
Shine down. Torn to oblivion.
Huh? Something seems wrong with A.
Are you feeling okay?
Why would you ask that?
It's fine. Whatever.
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish! Vaporize them all in one go, no?
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy.
Okay.
Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time. I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters lying in wait in this area, I must make sure I have the strength to face them.
Ah, makes sense! Spoken like a seasoned shogun!
I'm here too, by the way. Don't know if you know the Shogun, but I'm here too.
The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need to tell the Yashiro Commission about this. Hey, the same light is leaking out again!
Why don't they protect these roots with something? Like, why is there not a wall around these roots? Or, like, it's covered by some protective thing, or... like, literally anything. They're just sort of out, is it gonna, like, mess with the ley line flow or something like that if you put walls there? You can't have any man-made near it, because it, like, fucks with the energy or some weird reason like that. Oh, and then let's see the ghost. Is it the same situation as before? Hmm.
Furuyama? Is that you?
It's Daredevil. Epic.
Hmm?
Tea-master.
Almighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant land.
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds like this guy's talking about 500 years ago, too.
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a tea master and a member of my retinue. Though blind, Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of the very finest tea in all of Inazuma.
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in Your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me. It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest. I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest.
Thanks.
After all, it's quite a mess out there.
What should we do?
Let's go along with what he says. I want to learn more about the past. Yeah, let's go along with what he says.
Oh, yeah. Sheesh. There's monsters everywhere out there. It's pitch black and loads of people have been injured.
I see. So, they have fought their way this far already.
I didn't quite mean like that. I just meant like, yeah, go along with the tea thing and have a sit down and stuff. But yeah, Paimon, you do you.
Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless to me. So, I decided to stay. And now the Almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away. Imagine if this was something that even the Almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then?
Like, this guy's got fucking 1,000 times more wisdom than the Shogun. You know, he's spitting facts right now. How come you're not panicking? Because he's a genius, that's why.
People flee out of a desire to live on, and the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life. But me, I have no such thoughts, and I have no regrets.
Like, how is this guy already so much, just, like, whatever.
The Almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over tea. Just listening to her stories. I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. Over time, I've come to understand her mindset. Quite the romantic at heart, a true dreamer.
Has the Shogun just sort of like, since 500 years ago, just sort of fallen off a little bit, if you know what I mean? Like, she's just shut herself in a little dimension and just hasn't learned anything, I guess, for those 500 years. I don't know. I don't get it.
One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears completely over the passage of time. And so, people must make the most of the life they have, seize the chance to enjoy it while it lasts, and have no regrets in the end.
That does not sound like the Shogun. That does not sound like the Shogun at all. Well, I guess she's like just completely changed from her glory days. Feels bad. Yeah, there you go. That doesn't sound like A at all. This doesn't fit the definition of eternity at all.
So you see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced countless wonderful things in life, and have no reason not to be satisfied.
That's very wholesome.
Perhaps you are right.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the Almighty Shogun for the last time. What a pity. I'll never get to see what Inazuma looks like after the Almighty Shogun rebuilds it anew. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. But to me, it went dark a long time ago. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled old so-and-so by then. So, never mind, eh?
This guy... I want to be this guy. I want to be this guy. This is... He's just loving life. He's loving life. Yeah, Shogun. Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content and forgetting to serve the tea. The Almighty Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. A truly egregious loss of decorum. One moment,
Very full of wisdom.
Where in the world is the tea set? I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure.
Oh no.
Can't see a tea set anywhere around here.
Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, what a fool I'm making of myself.
Oh no. Yeah, let's go grab a tea set, come on.
I couldn't possibly have my guests fetch it themselves. That would be most discourteous indeed.
Don't worry about it. Take a rest. We'll be back right away.
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No. Your humble servant implores you, not with the war raging outside.
This place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea house in your memories. Leave it to us.
But Well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I need the almighty Shogun to personally collect my tea set for me. I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final stroke of good fortune.
Where should we go to find a tea set? Having a cup of tea isn't exactly the most urgent thing to do right now, but at the same time, this lovely old man from 500 years ago has been through so much, and it makes Paimon so sad.
Paimon, shut
I'm
up.
also feeling very nostalgic for his tea.
Oh, why don't we go to the Kamisato estate? There'll definitely be a tea set we can borrow there.
There's literally no reason to be sad, Paimon. We're about to go and fulfill this, like, this ghost's last fucking memory or whatever, I don't know. Like, we're gonna have a nice little tea with this old man, and he gets to meet the Shogun and have like a last little tea. Come on. Why are you... Get me serious,
After my
Lisa.
eyes went bad, many aspects of daily life became much more challenging. But I always wanted to be a competent tea brewer, right to the end. But now, it looks like I have to rely on you.
Oh boy. Don't you worry. So we should have just... The Shogun should have stayed with him, and we just snuck off and went to go get a little tea set.
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. I'll fetch that for you right away. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the tea set. I'll bring that here as soon as it's ready.
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler. Please, fetch the tea set at your convenience.
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Well,
Thanks, dude.
it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Sure. Was it really you that the tea master used to serve?
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he described didn't sound anything like you at all.
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial arts. So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon, who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto. He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it. The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality. She always saw things that way.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us. In her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a better future held by living beings.
Like, so I was wrong. It's not like she went down from her glory days. She's always been like this. I just can't understand. I just don't... I get maybe wanting to keep things the same sort of deal, like, you know, traditional sort of thing. But like, having some sort of weird eternity thing, like, it doesn't make sense. It's not like, it just doesn't make sense. It's not how the world works. Like, yeah, if you can create your own little weird dimension where you have ultimate control, then yeah, you could have an eternity in there and you're an undying immortal god. Sure. That's an eternity. Like, I don't understand her. Like, what, she's a traditionalist, is that? Or is it like even more than that? She's like, really wants to keep everything exactly the same. But why? Why do you want to do that? Because you suffer losses, or things change? Perhaps for the worse? Worse? English? I don't understand. It's very, it's just doesn't make sense, really, personally. I can't even think about how to rationalize it properly. Anyway, sorry. Dreams, or in other words, ambitions.
They are similar, but not identical.
True.
When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. This somewhat shook me. Now, it seems like she was right, while I took the wayward path.
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary, more abstract than an ambition. An ambition is a yearning for something material, or a concrete outcome. It is finite in nature, and will be replaced by a new ambition in due course. Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is something innate, rooted in instinct. In other words, it is something eternal.
What? Okay, let's just see what she has to say.
That's, quite a lot to take in.
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes.
It seems like her idea of eternity is just something that sort of happens forever. That's it. Something that is sort of unchanging and will always be, you know? But that doesn't... That, like, yeah, there are. So?
I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and evolving?
Exactly! What are you talking about? What? Please answer that question. Right now.
I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity she set out with.
Can you please tell me what your definition is? Please. Maybe I missed it in some Archon quest or whatever. Whatever. It seems more in line with how humans view the world. Yeah, it seems more like realistic and grounded, and like you're actually living in the physical world almost, you know? Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the conclusions she did.
Oh my god. She's stupid. She is just stupid. She's dumb. What? I thought you spent 500 years thinking about things and like meditating. What have you been doing for those 500 years?
But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one. Notwithstanding that it was also the more prudent choice, based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook.
I just like, how can you say that you strive for eternity and then say her philosophy was based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook? Like, surely, if you're striving for eternity, you need to have a far-sighted outlook until eternity, until infinity, right? And you need to. And she said something about seeing the bigger picture. And like, surely, if you wanted to strive for eternity, you would have to see the entire picture, not just, oh, she saw a big picture or whatever. You know, like, I just don't get it. God, she's so annoying. I hate her. I hate her. God, bring me Zhongli. Bring me Zhongli. Play his music. You know what? Actually, you know what? 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 Let me just get a little. What's it called? Let's just. Fuck. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Why does it do that? It's taking too long now. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. Oh, and I can't spell. Yeah, I need something. Just calm me down a little bit. I can't remember how to spell Zhongli. I'm stupid. Oh, it's like ZH, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So I was getting confused there. Okay. There we go. Let's watch something. Let's watch a good Archon. Let's watch a...
We last left off with ancient Liyue beset by an ocean demon and a mountain dragon. Rex Lapis mustered his adepti to restore peace to the land. They say that before he set out, he spoke these words.
This is an age of gods and monsters. I wish not for dominion. Yet I cannot watch the common folk suffer.
I will have order!
To cleanse the land and defend our safe harbor. That was the first contract in Liyue. And now,
Yes.
the final contract too has been set in stone.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Ah, yes. I didn't even like that. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to add that to my favourites. Good shit. Okay. Let's deal with this. This fucking... This person, okay.
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity.
Yeah, and they were dumb.
Now, I no longer cling to what was lost.
Yeah, because
I
it's
suppose
dumb.
that means our differences have been reconciled.
Almighty
Good,
Shogun,
because it was dumb.
I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your excellency's use.
It's quite beautiful. Thank you.
Cheers, bro.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the almighty Shogun.
It's all good, sir. She's actually pretty chill.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
Hey, T-boy. Down to listener, stupid fucking shit. Tea master, I'm coming. I got a tea set. I want some tea. I wonder if the Shogun will say what her favourite tea is. I mean, yeah, that's the real question. It's the deep shit. It's probably gonna be too deep. I don't think they're gonna ask that. I don't know.
Hey, where'd he go?
Fuck.
He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
I mean, didn't you say they didn't last very long?
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long. As was the case with the memory we saw earlier.
So we won't get to drink his tea?
You fucking bastards.
We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
Shut up, Paimon!
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate.
Let's make our own tea.
Well, this chance won't come often, and we do have a tea set. Perhaps I should try my hand at making us a pot of tea.
In honor of the tea master. I was gonna say his name, but
I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. I doubt I should have any major problems doing it myself.
In honor of Furuyama. Furuyama.
The tea is ready. Please give it a try. So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. I'm not sure how to explain it.
You don't need to, I understand.
You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me. I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who I watched pass even further back.
I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about this.
Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably light-hearted. But now, I'd like to broach a heavier topic, if I may. The events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu, they also took Makoto away from me, for good.
She died in that disaster too?
Yes. She went to Conria alone, without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead.
Why does she have a puppet? I get it because, like, she wants to sit in her room all day or whatever, but, like, I thought the puppet was her, like, killing machine, you know? But she's, like, this super mega martial artist lady. I don't know, it's just, like, is she depressed or something? Like, what is up with her? I don't get it. I don't get it.
But this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would remain hidden. In any case, by the time I realized what was happening,
Makoto had already...
Yes. It was too late. I arrived only in time to hear her dying breath. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plane of Euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. I cried bitterly. Even in those final moments, I couldn't understand her actions. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely, and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
What the
When
fuck?
I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. The tree that you know as the Sacred Sakura.
Oh, wow. Okay, so... The Sacred Sakura is her sister. Is that what she's saying? The Sacred Sakura, is it Sakura or Sakura? Sakura? Has always been there, hasn't it? Appeared.
That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about. No one questioned it. And yet, its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the Sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond Paimon's level.
Yeah, I get it, Paimon. You're just, you know... You're the type of person to just say what you see, you know? And nothing more. It's fine. Simply put, Makoto's power somehow made that tree appear. Do I really need to say that for her to understand that? Okay.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land, and for its people. In this respect, I still do not compare to her. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful.
Like, it is very sad and everything, but you have to realise in the context of this, all of this shit was 500 years ago. Like, I feel like even in a god's lifetime, surely that's like a decent amount of time, right? Like, that's not like a year in humans' time or something, like... And that whole time, she's been sitting and thinking about things, I presume. So... whatever.
But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, leaves some sweetness in the throat. And it's time I came to terms with it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was time like 400 years ago, 450 years ago, you know, 499 years ago. Like, at least you got to say goodbye to her. You were being like, I was just there just to see her last breath, but then I entered her mind and we said our farewells. What is wrong with you? And you brought her consciousness back to Inazuma. And you're like, oh, I can't, oh, it's hard to think, like... What? Seems like that. It seems like you've done a lot of thinking about this already. I know the pain of separation too. No, it doesn't. It does not seem like she's done a lot of thinking about this at all. In what world has she done a lot of thinking about this? How was my response? And it's time I came to terms with it all. And my response, it seems like you've done a lot of thinking about this already. Well, clearly not. She hasn't even come to terms with it. How is she... She clearly needs to think about it a bit fucking more. Like... Yeah, I know the pain of like, I was separated from my sibling, like, a few months ago or something. A year ago. I don't know what the timeline is. But, like, it has been really recent. At least in my mind, right? Because we got separated and then we got knocked out, sent into the sea and then woke up. So, I mean, there might have been a huge amount of time between getting knocked out and waking up. But to us, that still feels like it's like a year or something. Oh, I hate her character. It just feels so poorly thought out. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm stupid. Anyway, I know the pain of separation too.
Oh, while we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person...
Have you seen my sister before?
Sister? I had heard that you were looking for your family. You mean to say that she was somehow involved in the Conria disaster?
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over. And also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma, and the fate of those closest to me. So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But it can't be helped, I guess. Boy, both of you have experienced great tragedy.
With
Yeah,
this
yeah,
last
it's a
cup of
big
tea,
fucking pity party.
let us honor the Team Master's memory.
Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
Okay.
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far...
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise that was... Stop her. A cup of tea left for Fuyama. How much did he actually perceive and how much did he let on? Okay. Cute. Left a little tea for him. God. I just wanted to have some tea, for fuck's sake. I just wanted to have some tea. That whole thing, I just wanted to have a nice little tea with a nice little old man ghost who wanted to talk about things and, you know, share his philosophy about stuff. Like, I just wanted to enjoy that, but no. He had disappeared. And we didn't even get to say goodbye, didn't get to talk to the Shogun anymore. Big sad. Big sad. And then I had to listen to the Shogun fucking whine about a bunch of shit that I don't care about. And then she couldn't help me with the one thing I need help with. Now I don't know where I'm going. Okay. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I'm not really, but...
There is no escape!
Disappointed. Continue the pursuit. Yeah? Is it up here? Is it in the hole? Guess I'll check. No? What am I supposed to be doing right now? Am I being super dumb? Can I... I seriously can't go back up. This is really annoying now. Oh, what's he talking? Why? Why do you do this to me? Why? Am I seriously gonna have to climb this mountain? Why isn't there a little pingy boy to ping me up? Ping me up. Ping me up. There's a thing I haven't collected over there, probably. Yeah, I don't know. Was that crystal thing underground as well? Yes, I think it was. Really? I'm just gonna grab this crystal if I can. Can I?
Huh?
Yeah, okay. I'm kind of an idiot. Sorry. I'm kind of stupid, but that's okay. Oh god! Okay. It's fine. Let's just keep doing the quest. I grab some wood. I don't understand why the camera has to be so obnoxious about pointing out where it is. Is it worth it? Oh, it's annoying. I don't want to replace anybody though. Shogun it is.
Let's finish this.
Big fish. Oh, that's just a bunch of electroflows. You know what? I'm gonna add that to my pins. Okay. Why is this juice on the floor exactly? Like, are they saying that these wolves have like taken a bite and like smeared themselves in the Sakura juice and like rubbed on this? Because they float off the ground. So how did these smear marks get here exactly? You know? I should stop being a fucking nerd. It's a game. Whatever, who cares?
Once again, please leave them to me.
Why?
Hey! Are you sure you're alright? You're scaring us!
Don't bring me the... Don't... Scaring you, Paimon. Right?
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best.
Can you say that with like without fucking sounding like you're gonna die? Fuck.
Are you
What the fuck was that?
I'm fine.
Did she shit herself or something? What was that about?
Now! Now you shall perish!
What? I'm invisible.
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
Don't force it. Did you just shit yourself again? What was that?
My apologies.
Chill out.
Don't worry about it. Just take a breather and get your strength back.
Am I dealing with like a child right now?
We'll deal with the monsters. Look, that's the same light again.
I wouldn't call that light. Probably say smoke or mist, but alright. Time for another trip down memory lane.
Where am I? Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too! Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right. Just feeling a little stiff.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Come on, men! They're coming back for more! Let's get them!
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Are they actually?
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted to us by the gods.
Is that a vision?
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor that.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
An unwavering commitment to resistance. Good. So full of hope.
Nobody knew where Your Excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right here with us. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the hope in our hearts. This hope is the light that will guide us out from the darkness.
I just realised, are all these people treating her like this because they all think that she's her sister? You know? I'm pretty sure that's right.
Everyone on me!
We'll help too!
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Protect the Almighty Shogun!
Barbados, guide us.
Time for takeoff. Let's play!
Oh, coming through! Ha! Ha! Cha! Bam! Ha!
Okay.
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
Are you okay? Maybe you should keep resting.
I'm fine. I feel much better already.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring.
Thanks.
The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few rifthounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monster's advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
It's a nice attitude to have, I suppose. Perhaps not not good for survival though. Can't do English, help. You have no business disrupting the reality they are experiencing. Great, thanks, I appreciate it.
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best.
Nice guys.
But the almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn back the tide of despair and lead us onward into the future.
Lol. Lead us onward into the future. You wish.
No matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we will always place our faith in the almighty Shogun.
Oh. Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
So what, from this point forward you haven't been true to your word? That's great.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live.
Man, it's so confusing because she could have like her weird eternity thing and it still like makes sense. Like having like rules that are like, you know, forever. These are forever rules, you know what I mean? Shit like that, I don't know. Like the commandments or some bullshit like that.
With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun! Glory to the Shogun!
They're gone.
Was that a promise to them or a promise to yourself?
It was both. The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor. The grief blinded me to how brightly they shone in their final moments. The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will.
Is it not Shone? Shone? That's alright. Yeah, you have. Yeah, exactly. So, like, fuck you, basically. That's why I don't like you. Stop! Oh! You suck!
You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley lines.
Well, yeah.
But even so, they are due a resolution. I owe it to them, and to all the people who have placed their faith in me to date.
Yeah, I mean, you do realize there are still people on this island. There's still in Inazuma City. There's still people currently alive in Inazuma that you should be, like, residing over. Like, sure, making a promise to some disembodied ghost memories or whatever doesn't, you know, it's meaningless, doesn't mean it, but, like, it's just...
Well, that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now, and that's what counts.
Stop, like, dick sucking. She's shit. And she should be better. Stop, like, giving her excuses and stuff. She's a god. She's an archon. She's been in a room for 500 years thinking about things. You know, I don't like, how old is she? She must be well old.
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon. And I have neglected it for far too long.
There you go. There you go. She said it. There you go. There you go. I'm taking a screenshot on it. She said it. She's shit, and she knows it. She needs to be better. So, just come back when you're... fucking... have another 500 years to think about things, alright? And maybe you can get to a basic conclusion that, yes, you should be doing what an Archon should be doing, you know? It's just... And, like, she can still do her weird eternity thing and have that and everything. Like, just do it in a way that makes sense and works. Like, because, like she said, there are things that are eternal. You know, like the dreams and ambitions. That's it. Like, dreams and ambitions, they're, like, eternal, in quotation marks. So, like, why can't you focus on that? You know what I mean? I just feel like she's totally focused on the eternal thing in, like, the most stupid way you could possibly think about it. Where it just doesn't work, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't, like... Okay. I need to drink or something. May have a sip of water.
I used to think just like that samurai. That I was first and foremost a warrior, and my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone like Makoto. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done.
That is the most brain-dead fucking retarded statement I have ever heard. What are you talking about? Even though I'm utterly unlike Makoto and can never become the person she has, I need to do what she did. Like... yeah. Like, of course you can't just, like, become like a clone of Makoto. But if you just said that Inazuma is, or Makoto is what Inazuma needs, then, like, emulate what Makoto would do if that's what Inazuma needs. Like, it just doesn't... And why, don't even think about Makoto. Think about the things that Inazuma needs and why Makoto, Makoto? I don't know, whatever. I'm sorry. If Makoto's, like, the thing that Inazuma needs, what about Makoto is the thing that Inazuma needs? Does that make sense? I think I said that correctly. And then think about that, focus on that, and then do that, instead of being like, but I can't become like Makoto because I'm nothing like her. Like, yeah, so be your version of her, or however you want to think about it, because you're stupid. Like, oh god. Like, Venti is a better Archon than she is, and Venti doesn't do anything. You know, he just goes around and, like, plays his little loot thing. Like, and he's still a better Archon than she is, and he doesn't do anything. I don't know if the writers have purposely made her be like this. You know, where she is kind of dumb and it's like she has been in her own little dimension for like 500 years. But like she still had many past experiences before going into that weird shut-in state, you know? Like, and if you've had experiences, then that means you can think about those experiences and whatever, you know? It's not like she's just born and then just lived in some weird dimension thing and has zero idea about how the outside world works or how just reality works in general. Like, humans are worthy of your trust. Like, you're a shit Archon. Why are you an Archon? It isn't... Does each Archon need to rule a nation? Like, well, no, they don't, because Venti doesn't rule over Mondstadt. He just does whatever he wants to do, and he just flies about and plays his lute and is a bard. That's it, you know, like, and just sort of like looks at things and lets people do what they want to do. Like, she could be like, yo, fuck all of you. I don't like humans. You know, I'm gonna create this island and it's just gonna be me in this island. You know, or like, I just... I don't got it. Anyway, rant over. Humans are worthy of your trust.
Yes, they are. They are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud of. As the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one to hold them back.
Also, another point I just want to make quickly. Khaenri'ah? How do I say that? I can't ever remember how to say it properly. Khaenri'ah is a nation of humans, isn't it? Ruled by no Archon, ruled by humans, right? They're just humans, and like, they made a whole civilization and everything that was like super mega powerful, and it was so powerful they killed your sister, and you're like, yeah, humans, don't trust them. I don't like it. Like, she's either racist to humans, well, like speciesist, I don't know if there's a word for that, like, or she's put her head in the sand, right? But I just like, her head must be like in the center of the earth, you know what I mean? It must be so deep in the sand. I think she's just lived in her own little stupid echo chamber for far too long. I think that's I think that's it. I'm gonna go with that.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things out.
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This will take time, but eventually, the future will bring healing to the scars of the past.
Yeah, it's almost like if you stay in some eternal state, but the eternal state is fucked and doesn't work and everybody's miserable, but you still want some weird eternity in that miserable, horrible state. Nobody wants that. And if you don't move on or don't do the weird eternity thing, then you can't make anything better. I don't understand how that, like, that's just seemed obvious, doesn't it? Like, that is obvious. Like, it's obvious. Well, anyway, at least she's changing. Yeah, at least she's changing.
No matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to fruition. This is my promise. Now that we've dealt with the rifthounds, this matter is halfway resolved. It does not appear that the threat will escalate for the time being. I will leave the Tenryou and Yashiro Commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
Alrighty then, let's move on. He looks calm on the outside, But Paimon bets her emotions must be all over the place right now, huh? She seems to have changed a lot since we last met her. Huh? What's wrong, eh? Come on, keep up!
Jesus, okay. Hey!
What's going on? Are you feeling unwell
God.
again?
My body. I can't move it. It looks like the situation is more serious than I thought.
Oh, we should get you back to the city. To the
No
city.
need. She is calling me. The time has come. Can you help me walk? I need to go to the cave below the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Why? What's in there?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past and take the first steps into the future.
Okay. Very vague. Very vague. Who is she? Someone's calling her? She's
Can't
calling
catch
her?
me.
Like, can you not just say a name rather than just saying she's calling me? You don't know the name.
We're finally here. The entrance should be nearby.
Oh, shit.
Whoa! Where'd that Torii gate come from?
Oh shit, this is the new weekly. Wait. Are you alright?
It's getting worse again. But it's fine. I'm about to put an end to it all.
Okay. I need to pee real quick. Okay, 2 seconds. Okay. Redo my chair, sort it out. Okay, sorry about that.
This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness.
Oh.
It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body as I please.
What the fuck? Wait, what? Have you been using her body? That's weird.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she? Makoto?
Follow me.
Sure.
Where are we go?
Okay.
Paimon's dizzy. Where did we get sucked into this time? Whoa. This place.
Does look a lot like the plane of Atheme. Yep.
Look over there. It's another A.
We meet again, Traveler. This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules.
What? This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules.
Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Wait, Paimon knows that voice. Is that the puppet?
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity.
What? You wandered the realm in my body and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. Has she? I suppose so, sure.
You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct, don't you? But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion?
Both? No?
I'm here to show you my answer.
Are they the same voice actress? I assume so, right?
We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have shall be conducted by the blade alone.
Wait. The atmosphere in here just took a turn for the worse.
So that's the puppet. That's the Raiden Shogun. That's the puppet person. But what? I'm confused what she's talking about. All right, let's go through all this.
Are you alright now?
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my continued use of her body. As she indicates, once I started entertaining the idea of change, I became hostile in her eyes.
Right. Okay.
But inside a realm of consciousness, I exist independently of her. She cannot affect me in this way.
So the Raiden Shogun is in her, but she doesn't have control of the body. But A has control of the body outside, and the Shogun's annoyed at her, or views her as a threat because she wants to change now. Is that a correct understanding?
Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary, she appears here to confront me.
Okay. So is that why? I thought the Raiden Shogun was. I thought there's two separate people. I thought it was her, A, and the puppet. But is she saying they're like both the same body? But they have separate consciousnesses. So when one is outside in the real world using the body, the other has to be in this weird plane place? Is that the idea? Okay. Is a system to safeguard against modifications to eternity. Yeah, I do remember this. I think you mentioned this before.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but not like this. It's a bit extreme.
Holy shit, Paimon.
Showdown with the Shogun? Never thought we'd see that day.
The rules I set for the Shogun are... No. The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my past ideals. The very foundation stone of eternity. It shall not be easily swayed. I would not try to change her if it wasn't necessary.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something?
Isn't someone who leaves herself an escape route?
But they both just want the best for Inazuma.
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty, in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes the Raiden Shogun.
My form? Like, my form is in my body? In which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes the realm.
It inherits A's pain. The pain of inevitable loss that comes as she moves forward. So too does it inherit her determination to reach eternity.
Like, just that sentence, just doesn't make sense. So too does it inherit her determination to reach eternity. Like, how do you reach eternity? I don't, like, that just seems... Surely eternity is just something that is, you know? You can't... That, like, eternity isn't like a place or like a mindset or like a... Right? Like, that just... I can't tell if it's the writing that is particularly amazing, or I'm just a bit confused and not understanding it, or she is supposed to be sort of confused and not sure exactly what she wants, and all that she knows that she wants is eternity, but she hasn't quite come up with what eternity is exactly. Right? It just doesn't... Her determination to reach eternity. Like, if you want eternity, kill yourself. Honestly, if you want some sort of eternity, complete and utter destruction is what like, you know what I mean? Like, just... Like... You're not gonna get any more eternal than, like, being dead. Are you? Right? Surely being alive is like a... like... It's just... I don't... You know, death is eternal, is it not? Like in Genshin, when someone dies, they die, right? There's not some sort of heaven or something like that. There's not a limbo or afterlife. I mean, they seem like some of them turn into ghosts or become like memory spirits or something, but like there is no place that they go, right? I don't know. But even if they did go to some place, surely they would be in that place forever, right? Like, the idea of heaven and hell, like, you now live there, I guess, for lack of a better term. You now live there forever, and that is where you exist.
Every action undertaken is for the sake of resisting erosion.
See, that's stupid. That's stupid. If you want to resist erosion, lie down and don't do anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to stop, like, entropy and stop things breaking down, then just, like, stop doing anything. You know, that is the best way for things to not be eroded, right, and damaged and fall apart, and is that you just don't do anything. Like, every time you have an action or do something or break something, that's you're eroding stuff, right? Every time you walk on the pavement and it scuffs the fucking top of it by, like, you know, 0.00001 like millimeter off the top, like, it's still eroding it. Like, what erosion exactly? Like, mental erosion, physical erosion? I don't get it. Anyway, whatever.
Determination, courage, love, hatred. All of these will be degraded and distorted by the incessant flow of time.
So yeah, what, she's talking mentally then? Like, write a book then, or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't... Make a record of it or something, I just don't...
Only rules shall remain constant for eternity.
Okay, that's fine, sure.
Those were my thoughts when I created you.
I feel like she just came up with a really terrible set of eternal rules. Like I said before, you gotta see the entire picture. You can't just see a big picture and hope that you're somehow gonna survive for eternity. You gotta see the entire picture, and I mean, apparently even an Archon can't do that. You know, and she can barely fucking look at the big picture in quotation marks. Like, how are you gonna set rules when you just don't know how anything works? God, it's so... Worst character. I'm saying it. Worst character.
Now, they are towering obstacles that I have no choice but to overcome. You wish to make yourself my enemy? I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity. And I am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Raiden A. In the end, even the proud and mighty Oni Maiden was cut down and disgraced. Though your blade has been cleansed of her blood and filth, never shall it shine as brightly as it once did. This ends now.
Music's pretty poppy.
Illusion shattered. Inazuma shines eternal. The eye sweeps the land.
Flat damage.
The Kitsune Sakura blossoms that once filled the skies fell to the ground as pitch black rain. As long as the ley lines flow, the relentless erosion of time will never stop.
She's completely recovered?
Shine down! Ha! Weak. Pathetic. Weak. Pathetic.
Weak. Pathetic. You're saying that to me when you're just blocking.
Your
Like a
verdict is
nerd.
decided. Insolent. Inazuma shines eternal. The divine lightning that envelops all of Inazuma will fade silently into the clouds. There shall never be another. Never. For the rest of time. There is no escape. Now you shall perish.
Oh, she blocked me.
Absurd. Only emptiness awaits.
Have you finally defeated her?
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain strong?
How the heck?
Surely the Shogun puppet isn't invincible.
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious indeed. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living being's, including you and me.
It's a shame you built her to fucking be stupid. Nice. Honestly, you made like, oh god.
Then, does that mean this is gonna be a never-ending battle?
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand undertaking. One that will be resistant to erosion.
That's dumb. What? You can't, it's just resistant to erosion? You can have like a, you know, it's like calling a suppressor a silencer, you know? Like, does she mean like it will be more resistant to erosion than normal things? You know? Whatever. Like, if
I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change, and Inazuma can never move forward. This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries, and no matter how many times we must fight, I will defeat her.
You're a fucking idiot. I hate you. Oh my god. You went through all of this just to say that you're willing to spend centuries fighting a puppet. Just to convince her that you're right, even though you're the one who made her. You're an idiot. Fucking, Jesus Christ. Almost every single decision of hers is so dumb. It's just, it comes from a place of like fanatical fucking ideological bullshit. There you go. You know, it doesn't make sense. She really? What's that? Ikutsuka no Akushon. Thinking. What's that? What's that? Okay, I'm just gonna have a drink. Okay. What will happen to Inazuma in the meantime, exactly, huh?
500 years ago, humanity proved their strength in battle. Here in the present, they rely on their ambition to challenge wayward practices, tear them out like the diseased wood of an old sakura tree, so that new, healthy branches might spring to life in their place.
Wow, it's an actual piece of, like, wisdom for once. Wow, well done. God.
It is about time that I learned to trust them.
But can you bear to leave humanity to go alone? But can you bear to leave humanity to go alone? Everyone looks to the Shogun for hope. Can you bear to leave humanity to go alone? I don't really understand that.
I understand that.
Sure.
But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke are true eternity, a short moment for which the Shogun does not exist is nothing to fear.
Just thinking about what she just said. That's the way you justify doing this? Is that, you know, oh, because it's gonna be eternity, you know, being away for 500 years doesn't really matter.
I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. However long the battle may last, it is but a drop in the ocean of eternity.
I hate that. That's super dumb. Bro, you don't even know how big the ocean is. Do you know what I mean? You don't, like, you're looking at like a pond and you think that's an ocean. As she's looking at like a puddle and she's like, oh yeah, ocean of eternity. You have no idea. You have no idea. Stop acting like you do. It's annoying. Ugh. Fuck you. You can't just fight somebody for centuries. Especially, you can't, not even like, she's not even fighting it to defend Inazuma or do anything. She's just fighting it because she fucked up making her puppet. That's it. That's the only reason.
I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall one day return. This is my oath. Please, be my witness.
Sure, I honestly don't give a fuck, but I'll tell the people or whatever that you'll be gone for a while, sure.
During my absence, I place everything in Miko's hands.
Really? Okay.
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
Hey! Hey! Oi! Hey! She just kicks us out. Okay. Ow. Oops.
Looks like we got kicked out. Oh, what do we do? Are we really just gonna leave A and the Shogun to keep on duking it out in there forever? She was making sense, and maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still...
But this cannot be the only way. I mean, surely. Surely.
Right? Also, A can be pretty stubborn at times, and has a history of rushing into difficult situations.
Without thinking about it, or like properly, you know, doing any sort of damage control, or like preparing, or like planning, or doing anything that makes any sort of fucking sense. Yeah, I know. I know, Paimon.
What if she gets too obsessed with winning, and she forgets why she's there in the first place? It could happen, and then she might never leave again.
That sounds like her. That does sound like her. That do sound like her. We're not about to leave her just yet.
Yeah, we should help her out, like we did last time. The quicker she gets through this, the better. Is there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her win the fight? Well, whatever. We can't let anything bad happen to A while she's in there.
It's not our response. I'm looking for my sister. I don't give a shit about her. Why do I care? She made it. She did the Vision Hunt decree and fucked everything up and made it super hard to come here and everything. And like, why do we like her? Like, in world, in game, why does the Traveler give a shit about her or wanna help her in any way? And I get like Paimon's here, fucking, you know, we should help everyone, and you know, I'm little story person that says what to do in the next bit or whatever. Like, I don't care. We shouldn't care.
Oh, but we also can't get in there anymore. Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice, don't feel Paimon now. Okay, maybe if we both ram into it at the same time really, really hard.
Paimon, it's not a door. What are you ramming into exactly? Oh, there's a little Paimon emote. Oh, that's funny. Good. We need to talk to Yomiko. Yeah, we should tell her about the situation.
Oh, you're right. Paimon nearly forgot about her.
You didn't nearly forget, Paimon. You forgot, okay? You forgot.
Who knows if she really understands these consciousness realm plane thingies more than we do, but there's no one else we can turn to. All right, up the mountain we go.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I don't think many quests teleport you to where you actually need to go. Yo, Miko.
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess. You're all tangled up in another situation and need me to unravel it for you. I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
But you're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech, do you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase. The sheer audacity.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to be so snobbish about everything. But, yeah, also, Paimon, shut the fuck up. Alright, get to the point.
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened. It's she...
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an end date. Impossibly stubborn. Jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable, presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing short of the very peak of her abilities. Yes, that sounds like A all right. You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now?
Because she rules over the entire country, and she's like a 14-year-old fucking idiot. Like, she just doesn't get it. doesn't get it. Well, I guess at least Mika's in charge now, so I don't care. She rushed into it without thinking.
Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice.
So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help? Who gave you that idea?
Paimon did.
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose, for sure.
Uh-huh. You're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness than you do.
Okay.
All I know is that it's the foundation of the Sacred Sakura, and from what I've heard, it's a little different from A's plane of euthymia.
Because Raiden Makoto is no longer alive?
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. You're the ones who have actually been there, so you tell me. What was it like?
I wasn't paying attention, or I didn't notice any differences. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Anyway,
honestly.
we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little difficult to explain things later on, that's all. First things first. Follow me to the entrance.
See, but now it doesn't teleport us back down there, like... Strange. Ooh.
Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how crafty I need to be. To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, I'm A's familiar, so I can sense her rough whereabouts. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location of this realm, I can still send you to where A is.
So, it's abstract, but has a location, but you don't know where it is, but you can still send us there. What?
You know what? Paimon actually well put. Well put, Paimon.
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Right now, she is surrounded by chaos. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time.
Honestly, Mika, like, it's fascinating and everything, but can you just open up the portal? Like, I don't need to hear any of this.
This is precisely why when entering the plane of Euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness in a physical object first.
What?
What? Alright, well, Paimon, stay here then. You two can go in.
You're not gonna abandon me, Paimon, are you? Huh?
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
Exactly. Good point. Good point, Miko. That's a good point. What's the big deal?
Paimon's had it up to here with both of you! Oh, fine! Paimon's coming too.
Oh, well, if you're quite sure, then of course. Now, I shall send you on your way. I say.
What is it?
Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have been confirmed. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Okay. I want to see my sister.
Well then, the door is open. Hop on in.
Cheers.
I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond if anything happens. I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake, and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
Miko, you better know what you're doing!
We will not fail.
That's enough chatter. Get to work.
Yep. Okay.
Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Okay. That was fucking epic, actually. Holy crap. That was really cool. I like that. It's a bit more like it, rather than just some weird wobblies and then we go in there. I like that. Very cool.
How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years?
Yeah, it's been like 10 minutes, actually.
This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too. You bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity. Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel? So you're finally willing to... Stand back, Traveler.
Are you gonna put an end to all this?
I'm going to be the start of something new. The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the rise and fall of nations. The energy they consumed, great enough to vaporize the oceans and turn day into night.
I was listening to what she's saying.
They demanded, sufficient to penetrate minds and crush dreams. Yet, you have endured. I will endure forever. There is no escape. Witness the final calamity. In spirit, shine down. There is no escape. There is no escape.
Pretty close, actually. What? I don't understand what this is about. Just die, die, die. Oh my god.
This is the end. You have won. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit. But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future.
What?
You need not worry about the future, and you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens.
What the what? I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. So what, is that like she's been juiced up or something?
And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within Muso Ishin. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me, to encourage me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power. This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power when I truly understand and believe in her.
That's really strange. Why have they put the previous Shogun above Makoto? They've been talking about her the entire time and they haven't once done that. But now they think they should do that? Well, I've never seen them do that. That's so weird. How strange. Weird. Okay. I feel like if they're gonna do that, they should do that at the start and not at the end. But I guess maybe people need reminding. I don't know why they did that. It's strange.
When I clasped Muso Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once again.
Well, that's nice.
It was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one. Makoto barely wielded a blade in her life, and yet her blade brings me closer to her.
I mean, is that surprising? It's still her blade, even if she didn't use it that much. I mean,
you have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules. From this day forth, this body will remain your assistant. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed.
it's probably a smart thing.
You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me. Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, I should not regard you as a mere tool. You truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth.
No. This is what everyone calls growth. Including Archons, including fucking Abyss Mages, including Hilly Churls, including literally everyone. Why, like, what? She's like speciest, honestly. She is. Hands down. Oh, it's just so weird. And also, isn't she the one who's been interacting with everybody?
I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow. The duties I perform will not change. But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again in the future. Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat? It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Also, is the puppet... I don't really understand the extent of the puppet either, like... She is a totally separate person, or separate being, entity. But she is also her, as well. And, like, is she like a mindless robot that just sort of follows orders, or it's like she's like an AI, you know? Like, can she feel anything? Is she... Also, what is she, like, made out of? Is she, like... She's got, like, a soul gem in her? Like a soul stone?
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
Hmm?
Musaishin is glowing?
Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness.
What the fuck? Okay, cool.
I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces. Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Musou Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me. But... you never mentioned this to me. Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she probably didn't plan on dying. Just a thought.
I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness. Did you know what was about to happen in Conria? I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore. In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the meantime. But I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm sure you must have wanted to shed tears many times along the way. Don't look down on me. See? You admit it. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to soothe Inazuma's pain. Here, take it, before my last shred of consciousness fades away. But it is you who must take the most important step.
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh? Is it really? Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the Sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, A? I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, This sacred sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh? Goodbye, Makoto.
Oh, that was really beautiful. Hello.
So the A of the present planted the sacred Sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past. No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
Wow, okay, so yeah. It's kinda nuts. So when she came back and there was like, oh, there's a tree here, what's this about? It was actually her in the future that planted it in her sister's weird consciousness plane, which then just appeared in the real world. Sure.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more profound than mine. Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time becomes murky.
Okay. She seems to be finally understanding it. The pieces of wisdom are seeping through. I saw wonderful things inside that place. Time is moving forward and backward at the same time.
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. So that was the turbulence I was sensing. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this point in time without any problems. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely disappeared.
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything, it's that seed.
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
Okay, is that a bug, or they missed out voice acting? Weird. I know what you mean, perhaps a higher power really was involved in all of this, but whatever the explanation, her solution is what saved us all. Perhaps a higher Istaroth. Excuse me? Why is that there? Let me screenshot that. Why? Perhaps a higher Istaroth power. Perhaps a... Why is it placed so weirdly as well? What even is that word? This is bizarre. This is a bizarre one. Very weird, okay.
Without the sacred Sakura, Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up centuries ago by that disaster and the filth.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred Sakura, but to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred Sakura and Makoto's consciousness, but unfortunately, you never did persuade me, did you?
No, but I understand why now. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted then.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
The sacred Sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like it.
Ugh. Now we see who's pulling the strings.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today. And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in that same time, centuries of battling took place on the inside, did it not? Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies in the flow of time within that space. Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection of all that you were wishing for. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately help A. So this time, it looks like thanks are due to you.
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
Perhaps this is what the Shogun meant by an inevitability of fate.
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside, so it was a great shock to me when the Traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome. You too have my thanks. You have done much for me, and I will never forget it.
A, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your emotions. Have you managed to calm down? After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward. I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could unfold, all the way back then. She even factored my immaturity into her plan. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day.
Lamau, no. Makoto was brilliant.
I just planted a seed.
Indeed you did. Your will and hers were both indispensable.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again. That's amazing!
The final act might be a simple one, but getting those the result of countless efforts coming together. Just because the cause and effect ended up a bit back to front, it doesn't mean you should undervalue the part you played.
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the shadows cast by the events of centuries past. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future, and both are indispensable.
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you. I graciously accept them.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Makoto said the exact same thing!
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of Shogun for a couple of days? Actually, no. Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
Wow, look at that look. I mean, you were gonna basically be Shogun for perhaps even a few centuries. So...
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work to be done. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand. Then, we will give careful consideration to the future. After that, I will abolish the Sakoku Decree.
Really? That's huge news!
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock and key.
Like, you know, I would have thought this would be more like the Cryo Archons thing. You know what I mean? Like, the Cryo Archon, like, freezes everything and keeps it all exactly the same and, you know, likes things to be in stasis. Like, I don't, like, why does she care about keeping an eternity and keeping everything in stasis, like, and just not doing anything and just being sort of inactive? Yeah, I still don't really understand why she would want that, or why she thinks that's a good idea, or just anything really. Like, she has said, but like they just don't make sense to me, at least.
I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma.
And out of those challenges will be born new opportunities.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh. What's that? Dream Sakura. Why does she have a name over her head? That's weird.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
About the challenges?
Abolishing the Sakoku decree has a myriad of implications. It would be folly to say that it will be all positive, and there will be no negative repercussions.
Yeah, but that's life, isn't it? Oh wait, you've never lived your fucking...
For example, I can foresee the outside world posing a threat to Inazuma's businesses. These are the issues that I must work to solve.
What? I can foresee the outside world posing a threat to Inazuma's businesses? Why? Surely trade and everything is good? I don't... why? In what way?
Hey, you're thinking about this all so conscientiously. I've only got as far as wondering whether I'll be able to sell entrance tickets to the Grand Narukami Shrine in the future.
Business lady as usual?
Honestly, Miko. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
That was... that was pointless. She said nothing. She said, yes, I'm abolishing the decree, and it won't all be positive. And the outside world might not be good for businesses. Like, seriously? That's all you got to say about the challenges? Okay, about the gaze of the gods.
Makoto's gaze was always fixed on the people of Inazuma. I always assumed it was because that was her duty.
And is that not yours? Why are you not doing that? Why, because you made a puppet that can do it for you, so you don't need to do it? Fucking lazy bitch.
But now, I see that hers was a gaze full of delight and hope. It was not just a duty, but a joy too. She loved humanity very dearly.
Why has it taken you 500 years to, like, realize that?
If the people of the past deserve the gods' attention, then do the people of the future.
No. I mean, that's a very general statement. You never know, you know, people fucking... What happens if another Conria comes about? Conria comes about and they start killing Archons or whatever, you know? Like... I don't know, like, just why stop making generalized statements about stuff, you know? just do what you need to do and focus on what's happening now, for sake.
Indeed. No longer will I ignore their passions and dreams. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
So how about the centuries of dueling?
To put it bluntly, it was constant torture, with no end in sight. Faced with an endless battle, I had to remain focused at all times. Had my concentration lapsed for but a moment, the Shogun's blade would have taken my life.
Way to try and get some sympathy points while also like boosting yourself, you know what I mean? Oh, it was really hard, it was like torture, but you know, I remained in fully concentrated the entire time. Fucking. It's because you're a moron. Why did you kick us out? What, like, we had... Oh, God. Just... Okay.
Safe to say, were it not for my previous experiences in combat, my skills would not have been up to the challenge. I would most certainly have been defeated. And through it all, you also had your part to play.
Yeah, I'm the one who actually sorted it out. I'm the one who actually, like, did it. What did you do? You just endlessly fought for, like, no reason, and then you planted a seed. That's what you did. That's it.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
About the damage to the Sacred Sakura?
Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I will be sure to remind the Tenryou and Yashiro Commissions of their duties in this regard. It's not only the monsters that I am worried about. I'm concerned about what else might escape from the Sacred Sakura.
That's a tough one, all right. There's plenty more besides memories held in the ley lines.
Since you clearly understand, perhaps you could think about making an effort too. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma.
What did she mean by
but
that?
I am prepared for them.
That you can make an effort too? What? What? Was that directed at Miko? It was, right? Weird. Guy Miko said she was placing her god...
Yai Miko said nothing of the sort. And the Traveler has some nerve making up spurious claims about her while she is still present. Some words are not to be passed on. Trust me, you don't want to know the cost of betraying me. Just think of the things I said to you as our little secret. Understood?
That made me slightly uncomfortable.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Ooh, I suddenly want some fried tofu.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
And that's that, I guess. And we're done. Boom. Is that ticked off or whatever? Yep. Cool. Well, thanks for watching the me doing the Archon quest. It was annoying. It was annoying. I didn't like that, honestly. I didn't like that story quest. The learning about the Sakura tree and how that came about, that was really interesting. It's kind of bizarre. But yeah, interesting. I think I'm gonna have a little break, and all that. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.